Welcome to the Run It Back Podcast, where we run back everything from the 80s and 90s. I'm Jason.
I'm Sarah.
And today we're running back Uncle Buck from 1989. So what'd you think?
I miss John Candy.
Yeah, he was in a lot of things.
Well, I mean, he was in a couple things and died real early, but yeah.
He was still alive. He was in everything for
a little bit, yeah.
The movie starts off a little slower than I remember.
I don't know if you had the same childhood I did, but I watched a lot of fucking TV. And I'm. It's possible that I've seen this movie more than any other movie in the history of movies because it ran on USA Network in the 90s pretty much every day, possibly all day.
I had the VHS.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't fancy like that. I just had basic cable and it was on the USA Network all the fucking time and I watched it every time.
I think there was quite a few periods where we didn't have cable.
But you could afford VHSs? Those shits were expensive. They weren't like a DVD.
They were about the same?
No, they were a lot.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a few movies, and this is one that got like put in the beginning of the week and apparently just played over and over again.
Background noise. I'm surprised you didn't twitch through watching this then.
Yeah, but the movie opens up and everybody's kind of coming home from school, and you meet the older sister, Tia.
Yeah, dude. The outside of this house, all I could think of from like 35 now was how fucking expensive is that house?
It is definitely a nice house.
It is. I Googled it.
Especially for 1989.
It is estimated now to be $1.5 million. So I don't know what that is in 1989 real estate prices.
Are they talking about like in Chicago?
Like that house, like that specific house is a real house.
I wouldn't put it at that much.
Yeah, $1.5 million.
Jeez. So all the kids coming home from school. Oldest one's Tia.
The oldest one's a bitch.
The boy is Miles, and the little girl's named Maisie.
And Tia's a bitch to all of them.
Bossy to all of them, but she's kind of taking on like a mom role. Their mom works and isn't paying attention to them a lot since they've moved, is all I could gather.
I don't know if the mom necessarily works, but she's definitely not around very much.
Because she's at work.
But I think she's just a giant cunt, like Tia. I think Tia is just a giant cunt regardless. I think it's more to do with the fact that she's 15 and less that her mother's not around.
Yeah. But this whole movie is kind of about how Tia's attitude changes as she learns a little bit.
Well, you also find out later that the mom's also a giant cunt, in my opinion. So it might also just be, a little bit of nature and a little bit of nurture that Tia's a bitch. It's not looking good for Maisie.
Yeah. But they come home and they're just kind of all fighting with each other. The dog's in the dryer.
Yeah, who put the dog in the dryer?
Somebody had to have put him in the dryer.
Yeah, because it's one of the tall, stacked up washer and dryers, and it's in the dryer. Somebody had to have stuck it in there.
No, it wasn't stacked up.
It was tall, yeah.
No, it's just your normal dryer.
Yeah. Either way.
You learn very quickly Mom's a little out of touch. She's asking Miles how's hockey, and he's like, that ended 2 weeks ago. But Miles got a mouth. Miles likes to say words.
Well, in the first scene, Maisie, the little girl's yelling at Tia for saying shit, but totally doesn't pay attention to the fact that Miles says, God damn it.
He's like, it's my goddamn arm! Now, is this movie before My Girl?
Yeah.
I thought so. By what, couple years at least?
Yeah. Before Home Alone, before My Girl. So, after you meet this fucked up family here, it goes to Buck and his girlfriend, Shanice. And they're kind of arguing about, from what I gather, he's going to start working for her, but she doesn't really believe that he's going to show up. I'm guessing he has a track record of kind of being a piece of shit.
I don't really think he's a piece of shit. He just doesn't want a normal job. I just put together
But he seems to
this has probably happened multiple times where she's like, just come to work for me. It's a steady paycheck, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like he's put her off so many times.
But as you find out later, he kind of makes his money by gambling, and not all of it, legit gambling, like he's going to have a horse race fixed.
He's not having it fixed. He's just going to know
it's being
results.
Fixed.
So as he's telling her, he's like, I will be there. And she's not believing. He's like, if there was an excuse that I could give you that I thought you would believe, I'd tell you.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do it.
So he owns up to that part. Like he's like, if I could get out of it, I would. So in the middle of the night, What's Mom's name?
Cindy.
Don't she look like Dollar Tree Barbara Streisand?
Cindy looks like a Dollar Tree Barbara Streisand.
Nailed it.
I could kind of see it.
Kind of.
Wait, I think it's just
wait till she turns around.
The nose.
Boom. Dollar Tree Barbara Streisand.
A little bit.
And he's kind of like
her husband.
Who's the Honey Shrunk the Kids guy?
Rick Moranis.
He's like the Gabe's Rick Moranis.
If he was giant, he makes like 2 Rick Moranises.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say he was the TJ's. Moranis.
Anyway,
Mom gets called. Her dad has had a heart attack. They're trying to go back to Indianapolis where they moved from, but they need somebody to watch the kids. They try calling the neighbors. No dice. And Bob, the dad, suggests his brother Buck.
Right, but the mom is such a bitch. She was like, I don't like him. He hangs around with that woman that sells tires. Like, bitch, does your car roll when it goes down the street? Then you should probably think somebody that sold you the fucking tires for it.
Yeah, she's very uppity.
Like, every job needs done. Like, the people that serve you fast food, the people that work at the grocery store, the people that sell you fucking tires. Like, this bitch is no better than the girl that sells tires. What the fuck? Yeah, it made me mad.
Man, 80s hair is just terrible.
80s hair is terrible.
Like, this isn't, like, it's not even like the cool, and by cool I mean terrible, like, teased up Aquanet thing. It's just like a...
Well, it is the middle of the night.
Hair mullet helmet.
I'm sure it looks better when she's going out than when she found out her dad had a heart attack in the middle of the night.
I don't know that.
But back to Miles's mouth. He's just like screaming balls, trying to find out what the other word for it is, and then he runs out in the hallway and he's like, nuts! Oh, but he's talking about Buck and his girlfriend, and then she says, can you even see him in this house? Like, bitch, what?
Like their house is too good for him?
Their house is too good for him, yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of a stuck-up bitch.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? But he is their last option, so they call him. Tia overhears all this going on, and she walks out into the hall to, you know, a lot of people would comfort their mother in this time when they found out that Grandpa had a heart attack. But instead, Tia says, yeah, I'd have a heart attack if my entire family moved away from me, too.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, bitch. Oof.
It's weird, because she seems to be getting along just fine as far as making friends at school.
Yeah.
After they move and everything. But they call Buck in the middle of the night, and he wakes up, apparently has the coronavirus, because he is hacking some stuff up.
He does sound right.
For a solid while, and I guess that'd be true of somebody who smokes as much as he does.
That's true. But also, like, he's projected as, like, not having money and a slob and all this stuff. His apartment is directly across the street from Wrigley Field. That's gotta be an expensive apartment, right?
Maybe now.
You don't think in the 80s that was an expensive apartment?
No, they were the lovable losers.
Still.
It is the best ballpark in all of Major League Baseball.
Sure.
So, Uncle Buck agrees to watch the kids.
But he knows Cindy hates him. Because he says, how's Cindy feel about all this? Like, he knows that the wife doesn't fucking like him.
But he calls Shanice.
Hell of a name, isn't it?
And I was about to call her Charisse for some reason.
Shanice.
I think I'm mixing her up with Clarice. He tells her what's going on, and she probably doesn't believe him at all.
Not at all. I think she cusses him out and hangs up on him.
The whole, wait, that whole scene. And he doesn't really say much after he has some bad news, and she's like, basically just tells him she thinks he's coming up with excuses or whatever.
Yeah, he never actually gets to tell her what's going on. So, he lives in Chicago. They kind of live in a suburb of Chicago. He drives out there. He goes to the wrong house in the middle of the night, waking up the neighbors. He gets into the right house, and he goes, so, how's Cindy's dad? And his brother, what the fuck's the dad's name?
Bob.
Bob said, oh, it's hard to say. And Buck goes, oh, medical terms, huh? What was it, an infarction?
Yeah.
Cracked me up.
Yeah. So not only is Buck not a scumbag, he's knowledgeable.
Mm-hmm.
So he...
Oh, Bob leaves Cindy and Buck in the kitchen to have just the most awkward as fuck conversation. Like, if Cindy already doesn't like Buck, and Buck is Bob's brother, why isn't Bob dealing with Buck? Because he doesn't throughout the whole movie. Like, he's not the one dealing with him at the beginning when they're, like, telling him what's going on and leaving him money and all that and making plans. He's not the one later that calls throughout the movie.
I think it was just to show the tension between them.
Like, if I hated your family, but we had to deal with them, you would be the one dealing with them. It just seems weird.
So the parents leave. They go to Indianapolis.
They never even tell the two little kids that they're leaving. Like, the next morning, the two little kids just wake up to a stranger in their house that I'm thinking they've never met him.
No.
Like, why wouldn't they wake him up and be like, hey, here's what's going on, honey?
Which is weird, because they moved to a suburb of Chicago, and they don't call or associate with Buck at all.
Right. Like, Tia even says, how many times have they had you here since we've moved? Yeah, that's right, none. Piece of shit.
So Buck's walking around the living room right after they leave, and there's one of those decorative plates on the shelf, and he picks it up and looks at it and drops it. It doesn't break, but for whatever reason, he's like, "Oh, this thing's pretty sturdy," and just fucking smashes it on a piano.
Unbreakable.
Which later he tries to get out where they got the plates from, trying to see if he could buy another one. It was from London, and he's like, "Oh, really?"
Yeah, a little out of reach. But why would you just think you're Lucky Stars and you put it back, you don't slam it against the piano?
So, Uncle Buck is making breakfast in the morning before the kids go to school. Tia comes down and she's kind of
breakfast, because it's like eggs with onions and peppers and like nothing a little kid would eat.
Tia comes down, gets coffee, and she's kind of standoffish.
She does not like coffee. Like, she's decided in her head to seem adult, she's going to drink coffee.
So I might not have been paying much attention.
She walks in all confident and gets her a cup of coffee, and he's like, "Oh, you drink coffee, huh?" And she just sits down all prissy and bitchy with it, and she takes a drink and then makes the face like, "Oh God, this is the nastiest shit." Like, it is not the face of anybody who's ever actually drank coffee. And then later he says something to her about drinking it again, and she goes, "I'm not doing it to impress you." And he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I didn't say you were." But I just like how in like a 15-year-old's mind, I'll show him that I'm an adult by drinking coffee.
Yeah. So Miles runs in, and he's basically, he doesn't say the F word, but he basically turns around and says, "Who the fuck are you?"
Are you sure he doesn't say the F word? He's got a mouth on him.
"I'm your Uncle Buck," or whatever. He looks at Tia, he's like, "Do we have an uncle?"
Yeah. Yeah, so they're not even talking about him in this house.
No.
Like, it's not even referenced.
He's like, "Oh God, he's cooking our garbage."
Yeah, Macaulay Culkin did a damn good job in this film.
Tia has to go upstairs and help Maisie, and she's like, I'll make you Frosted Flakes or something when she comes back.
Oh, to Miles, because he doesn't like his.
Yeah.
He was like, "You put the onions in the eggs."
Yeah. But she's just like, kind of like with the coffee, just standoffish and wants to seem more grown up than she is.
Oh yeah, she doesn't say like 3 words to him at all.
But while Tia's upstairs, Miles straight up interrogates Uncle Buck.
Just rapid
which
fire.
Which is probably one of the better scenes.
They said that for like Macaulay Culkin's close-up while he's asking all the questions, John Candy wrote the questions on like index cards and taped them to his forehead so he could just read them off real quick.
Was that John Candy's idea, or?
I don't know.
Genius. But he's like firing off these questions, and as John Candy's answering, he's just like, "What's your record for most consecutive questions?" As he's like 38. Like, he didn't miss a beat at
38, and then ask a follow-up question. Yes. Like,
so Uncle Buck drives all the kids to school. He drops Tia off first at the hospital.
Now, do you know what kind of car that is?
It's a early 80s.
Shitmobile?
Maybe late 70s.
Would you call that collar complete rusted out?
No, it's definitely not complete rusted out. I would call it patina.
Patina?
Let me Google Uncle Buck.
Also, we're at the scene where she pours her coffee. Like, what 15-year-old would start out drinking it black anyway? Here, watch her take a drink. Takes a drink, and then she's just like,
they hit hard.
Like,
they hit hard.
It is the worst thing she's ever put in her mouth. I mean, up until this part in the movie. She may put some more stuff in her mouth later in the movie.
That looked like some military coffee right there.
Bad.
Like that jet fuel. I worked with a guy once. It was an older guy. He liked it. They had 2 coffee pots. He would make one. He had a coffee from home. He would make the first one, make the second one, leave the other. There was like an industrial coffee pot. Leave both burners on so the coffee would basically concentrate. And he
chew that or?
Yeah. There wasn't enough milk in the world for that.
No, our nephew, every time I drink coffee, he's 12 now, would beg me for a cup. And I was like, dude, you're not going to like our coffee.
Thing he needs.
Our coffee is like Javalia espresso roast. It's dark, it's rich. You're not going to like it. And he, yes, I will. Yes, I will. So I finally gave him like a little drink. And he's like, that's not coffee. That's not how blah, blah, blah drinks it. And I was like, yeah, well, blah, blah, blah drinks it with 17 creams and sugars. That's not even coffee. This is coffee. Now, I used to drink it with a little bit, like a little splash of milk, just something to take the edge off, until we had to stay with my dad for a month or so while our house was closing. And he kept bringing it to me black, and he was like, you're my daughter, you're gonna drink it black. And now I've just started drinking it black.
I think I've always drank it kind of black, but I always drank mostly unsweetened tea, or if it was at a place, I would do half and half.
Hot take, all tea is garbage ass, dirty leaf water.
Your opinion.
That's why it's a hot take, because it's an opinion that most people don't hold, but it's nasty, it's gross, and all y'all were wrong.
It's not that bad.
It's that bad.
I really like the green tea citrus stuff that I get down there. It's really good. You should try it.
Nope, I haven't. It's gross.
Back to Uncle Buck's car.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It is a 1977 Mercury Marquis Brougham or Brougham, depending on how you want to say it. Brougham. But this car is basically a land yacht.
It is definitely giant.
There's probably 7 feet
and there was no power steering there either. So can you imagine getting that thing around?
Definitely looks like it swayed a lot.
But it is just leaving a trail of smoke behind it. And they pull up to the school, and he knows it's going to backfire. He's waiting on it. He's timing it out. And huge, giant backfire.
And everybody hits the deck. Yeah, he's even holding his hand up waiting for it to drop.
Mm-hmm.
Boom!
The noise that Buck's car makes when it backfires is a gunshot and a firecracker combination.
So his car backfire, everybody ducks. He's kind of enjoying the moment. He knows he's embarrassing Tia. She's ducked down in the floorboard because she doesn't want anybody to see her. He's like, what time do you want me to pick you up? And she's like, I'll get a ride home. I always do, whatever. He was like, no. What time am I going to pick you up? And he's finally 4 o'clock. I'll be here at 4 o'clock. And basically, this is the start of Buck's not putting up with anybody's bullshit.
Yeah, she was like, I won't be here. And he was like, stand me up today. When I drop you off tomorrow, I'll do it in my robe and I'll walk you to your first class.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is like the tough love that she's needed.
Yeah.
And hasn't been getting, basically.
Uncle Buck. It doesn't really show him dropping off the other 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
But you skip to lunchtime and you see Miles pulling out this lunch that Uncle Buck made him. He pulls out a mason jar of milk and a bunch of containers,
sardines,
and baggies of just random stuff.
I think there was a giant pickle in a bag.
There's a giant pickle and some pickle juice in the bag. I can't remember what else.
Yeah, those sardines.
And he looks around to the other kids and was like, would anybody be interested in a possible lunch trade? And everybody just runs away.
Poor Miles. So that night, was it that night or while they're at school? I guess it's while they're at school. Buck is going through the family's photo album and pulls out one of the wedding pictures that they have folded to cut him out of.
Yeah, but you can obviously tell the wife.
Okay, so that is a mayonnaise jar of milk.
Oh, mayonnaise.
Hellman's mayonnaise jar of milk. I don't know what those other 2 bags are, but they look disgusting. That is
he does
brown
have a
banana.
sandwich. He has a sandwich which looks like a pastrami sandwich, which would not be in kids' kitchen. But Uncle Buck got all dudded up for his first day of the job, didn't he? He's got a sweater, the button up.
He did. He looks very nice. But see, he pulls out this nice family wedding picture. It looks like their dad, his brother, Cindy, and then he's folded out.
Yeah. Such
a bitch. I mean, I guess Bob's probably complacent in it at the very least, but Such a bitch.
So Uncle Buck picks up Tia. She's on the steps of the school sucking face with Tweedledick.
Yeah, Bug.
So Bug walks Tia to the car and says something about, have you ever heard of a tune-up?
Yeah, like, how big of balls does this kid have to lean into this man's car you don't know and say, ever heard of a tune-up, and just start laughing?
And Buck's like, you ever hear of a ritual killing?
Yeah, he says he doesn't get it. And he says, gnaw on her face like that in public again and you'll be one.
Yeah. And then he just rolls out, just fills his face with smoke.
In a, full, I don't know, blaze of glory and smoke. Like, I don't understand how this car hasn't caught fire.
Does Tia ask if he's crazy? Or does the boyfriend ask?
Tia says, are you crazy? You could have took his head off.
He's like, I can be.
Yeah. But he's trying.
He's trying to teach her a lesson.
He's trying to tell her he just wants one thing. I know exactly who that kid is. I used to be that kid. Like, nothing good is going to come of this relationship. He's using you. But yeah. When we're 15, we can't hear that.
So, later that night, Miles is doing dishes and playing in the all-silverware band, while Maisie is trying to convince Uncle Buck to either sleep in her bed or let her sleep in his bed.
Yeah.
And he's giving her all kinds of excuses not to.
She's just stone-faced, though. She's not having it. She knows he's going to break.
Yeah. She seems like she gets what she wants all the time.
Yeah. Well, she's the littlest. But so in the meantime, Cindy calls.
Which is Mom.
Yeah, the mom calls.
Miles answers the phone, and he tells her that he's busting his hump, earning his keep. Uncle Buck told him to put hair on his chest, and she wants to talk to Uncle Buck, right?
Right, so he goes to get him, but Tia's on the phone, and she just straight lies to her mom about him. Poor Uncle Buck's upstairs being a good uncle, trying to talk to Maisie about her problems. And then Tia's on the phone saying that he left the kids alone at the house today and that he's drinking all day and she has to do this awful. It's like, Mom already hates him and now she thinks he's left her kids alone just drunk.
Yeah, she's just trying to manipulate her, make her feel bad. So Uncle Buck talks to Mom and she's trying to feel him out, I guess. Then she has a little weird-ass breakdown, calls for Bob. About her kids that she wasn't paying attention to anyway. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
So then you have the sleep montage where Macy has convinced Uncle Buck to not only let her sleep in the bed, Miles is also in this bed.
And the dog.
Uncle Buck has approximately 10% of this bed. It looks to be like a queen size, maybe.
Yeah, at least.
And the kids have about 70%, and the dog has the other 10%. But Miles has the most. Miles is like all spread out, like basically looks like the Da Vinci drawing of the. And then Uncle Buck rolls off a few times and he finally just sleeps on the floor.
But then the kids get in the floor. They wake up and realize he's in the floor, so they get in the floor with him. So then he wakes up and moves back to the bed.
Because kids are dumb. Smart kids would have been like, hey, Uncle Buck, let's get back in the bed. Kids can sleep anywhere. I remember when I was little, I could sleep on the floor, no pillow, nothing. Yeah. If I were to sleep on the floor now, like to fall asleep on the floor, it would take like a tow truck and a crane to get me up.
Yeah, you'd never move again. Yeah. He also tells them, he asks if they brush their teeth. And Miles was like, yep, you can even go feel the brush. He was like, really? You actually brushed them? You didn't just run it under the water to make sure it's wet? Because I have a friend at the Chicago Crime Lab that could test the DNA and make sure it's actually been brushed, and just completely bullshits him. And Miles freaks out, and then Maisie's like, if that's true, we're going to have to start brushing our teeth.
Yeah.
But at least he got it wet. Like, he was thinking ahead. He was like, you can even test it.
So next morning, all the kids are at school, and Uncle Buck is having a time trying to get the washer to open up. Just trying to get the washer to work. And the neighbor lady breaks in, dressed like Genie in a bottle.
What?
She's got like some kind of genie garb on.
Don't know that I noticed a genie garb, but okay.
When that comes up here in a minute, watch it.
I thought it was like a business lady suit kind of situation.
No, this is definitely like if
She had her hair weird.
If the genie from Aladdin had a girlfriend who had like a Wall Street day trading job, this is what she would wear.
Okay. Quite a picture you painted there.
Hey.
Yeah, her name is Marcy, and she walks into him like cussing and thrusting and kicking.
She thinks he's like raping Cindy.
Yeah, because he's like, open up, get in there. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's like, open up for daddy.
Yeah, she's trying to get away. Like, she's watching him through the crack in the door, and the dog comes up behind her and licks her and freaks her the hell out. And she screams, and that's how Buck realizes she's there.
So they meet, and then she's kind of, after the initial standoff and her realizing he's not like sexually assaulting anybody.
Yeah, after she realizes he's not actively raping her neighbor,
she's trying to get raped.
She's very turned on. Very turned on. Okay, so here she is. She has on a fur coat.
Now, after she takes off this fur coat,
she has like a scarf tied around her head, kind of like a bandana. Oh, I see what you're saying. It's kind of like...
Wait for it. There's more.
How
did you not see this?
I don't know.
Like, look at that. What exactly is she wearing?
It is a lot. It's like a gold metallic animal print. But I don't know.
Like, it looked like they would wear it in, like, Saudi Arabia if it wasn't that gaudy. Like, it's just awful.
It is definitely weird. She's got the big old hoop earrings in, which also kind of say genie. Yeah. Anyway, she is very horny, I think, for anything with a dick. It didn't matter who was behind that door.
Yeah, she seemed more interested in watching what was happening than actually going in and helping.
Yeah, well, I don't know that she thinks she was being raped so much as she thinks she caught Cindy cheating on Bob.
Tia's sitting in the window, watching out the window, and everybody's going to go out and go bowling. Buck's got his bowling shirt on, and he looks at her, and you can tell she's done her makeup, and he was like, why'd you waste all that makeup for? We're just going bowling. She's like, I'm not going. And he's like, yes, you are. It's a great sport, and it's virtually impossible to get pregnant while doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then does she say something after that?
I don't know what.
Does she just?
Oh, she says no, she's not, and he said, okay, then you're just gonna have to wonder if you're crazy. Out of work, charity case uncle will snap and shave your head in the middle of the night. So she goes bowling.
So they're bowling. Buck bowls. He's teaching the kids to bowl.
Tia is not.
She is just sitting there, huffy puffy. And this guy walks up, starts hitting her. He looks like his last rape victim actually won the whole encounter.
Yeah, he has a black. He looks like a scumbag.
He's got a busted
black
lip.
eye, a busted lip. He's got that like dirtbag toothpick he's wiggling around in his mouth.
Yeah, and he's trying to flip the toothpick, and he does it a couple times, and he's like trying to side eye her to see if she's impressed, and he gets it fucking stuck, and has to like turn around and be like, oh.
Now, in high school, a guy behind me in class got his toothpick stuck straight up and down in his mouth and couldn't get it out, and I had to turn around and reach in his mouth and pull his toothpick out for him. Anyway, this guy's a total scumbag. He asks how she feels about all-terrain vehicles and says he has a Bronco parked outside, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink.
Yeet.
And then she was like, I have a sore throat, trying not to talk to him. And he goes, oh, it's okay. I got the cure for that. I was like, are you fucking serious right now?
What do you say? My name's Pal because I'm everybody's friend or something?
I don't know.
Because his shirt actually says Pal on it.
Wow.
But this is apparently Buck's normal bowling alley.
Right, because he walks up and the guy is freaked out. He's like, oh, hey, Buck.
Before Buck came over, he's like, you look firm.
Oh.
And I was like, dude, you are hitting on a 15-year-old.
He doesn't care. Look at him. He's a total piece of shit.
Oh, God. Like, he just... What's
got
bad...
the cigarette behind his ear.
The guy that plays him might be a good guy. But he's got that
genetic like, scumbag look.
The genetic, definitely like the genetic. It's definitely a genetic scumbag asshole look.
Yeah.
I was trying to come up with something better, but it's
no that.
Well, it's the genetic white trash look, is what it is.
Yeah.
He's you got him, and then you got like the Kid Rock version. Those are the only two versions.
Now he says you must be in college, probably a cheerleader, right? You look firm. Now, do you think he actually thinks she's in college, or do you think he is fully aware that he's hitting on a 15-year-old?
I don't think he's aware of that, but I think if he was made aware, he would not care.
It wouldn't change anything?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Maisie gets the ball to the pin, the one pin,
and it stops.
It's literally touching the pin and it stops. She barely got it.
Yeah. What do you do in that situation? You heave another ball down there?
Yep.
Or now Buck sees that this douchebag is talking to his niece and full on knows he's a douchebag because the second he sees it, his eyes are like, holy fuck, and runs over there. But he steps in and saves her.
And then his friend comes by, and Tia kind of observes and learns a little bit about Shanice.
Right. She is very observant of her surroundings.
But she's still dumb.
No, she's not dumb. She's 15.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, she's still, like, too young to know any better.
But she's taking in 100% everything that these guys are saying in front of her.
Yeah. So, Roger starts talking about the whole horse race fixing thing, and he's like, no, come here. So they walk away.
Yeah.
And he says something about Shanice, and Buck's, like, trying to wave him off. But the whole time Tia gets this, like, little shitty smirk on her face.
Oh, yeah, like she's 100% going to use the information for evil.
Yeah. How many cigars do you think John Candy smoked in this thing?
Oh, way too many. So the next morning is Miles' birthday.
Yes.
And Uncle Buck is downstairs making giant pancakes with a snow shovel.
Giant pancakes is not adequate, and snow shovel is not adequate. This is the largest snow shovel I have ever seen. I don't know where he got the sheet metal that he stuck over the stove in order to make these giant-ass pancakes.
Probably the same place he bought the shovel.
There's probably still leftovers from 1989 that he made. These things were like 3 feet across.
And he makes a whole stack of them, and like all the sides, like there's bacon and eggs and sausage, and they're decorated with syrup and frosting and sprinkles. Like, he does Miles' birthday great.
Yeah. And then this clown shows up.
Yeah, Drunky the Clown.
For the birthday party. And Uncle Buck has no matter how much of a scumbag their mom thinks he is, that is a legit giant-ass cookie sheet. Do you see the edges
it has,
on
like,
there?
edges.
I don't know what factory he got that from. He has somewhat of an ethical code because he won't let the drunk-ass clown go perform in front of these kids.
Right. He closes the door, walks up there, and he's like, what?
There is a legit 2-pound pat of butter on top of those pancakes.
Yeah. But look, little Miles' day's made.
Yeah, he was good to go as soon as he saw the pancakes.
Yeah. So he walks outside and he's like, what, did you have a little drink this morning? Or he's like, what, the clown was like, you never touched the stuff? He's like, well, no, but if I was entertaining a bunch of kids, I wouldn't have a drink right before. And he tells him to get out of there, and they fight, and Buck punches him in the face twice.
The clown's like, do you know who I am? Like, you're a fucking clown. Like, you're not Bozo. You ain't Ronald. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
But every time he punches him, he, like, pops right back up like the,
the
clown bopper bag
The
things.
weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. He's not even a famous
But that's
clown.
okay, because the other kids weren't feeling a clown anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So he kind of saved the party.
Next I got Tia and her boyfriend sucking face.
Yeah, Tia and Bug are at this, I don't know, like a campground?
It looked like a...
Because they drive out into the middle of the woods.
Like a state park pavilion type.
Yeah, like a rest area in the woods.
You rent out the pavilion, you have like a cookout or whatever. It was one of those type of places at night.
But it was taken over by teenagers that were all just making out. But he keeps pressuring her for sex. He keeps saying, like, let's go out to the car, we can do this, we can do that, and she keeps telling him no. Meanwhile, Buck and the kids are in the car, headed that way, and the kid's like, what are we doing? I was like, oh, we're gonna go pick up Tia. I was like, she said she was at a cheerleader's house. He was like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, Buck sees through all of Tia's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, 100%, she doesn't, none of her bullshit phases him. He knows.
Miles is like, cheerleaders live in the middle of the woods?
So Uncle Buck finds him and fucks with the boyfriend. Like, starts talking about the hatchet in the car. And
he says he wants to bury the axe.
Bury the hatchet. But Tia's boyfriend is a total douchebag in his little French beret looking thing. Like he's a mixture of. He acts like the stereotypical dumb jock a little bit, but he dresses like somebody who's trying too hard to be an artist.
How old do you think he's supposed to be in here? I mean, he's definitely older than her. Like 17, 18, or do you think he's older?
Maybe freshman, no, she'd be a sophomore, wouldn't she?
Yeah, she's 15.
Maybe sophomore, senior. Buck plays off like he's just seeing if she wants to, bury the hatchet. He just wanted to see if she wanted to get ice cream with him. I don't know why she's so fucking pissed off, because he's saving her ass here, right? Because dude's trying to coerce her into fucking him.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, and Buck basically saves her.
But she doesn't want to be saved by Buck.
Yeah. Well, Buck's basically telling him, if you've had a little bit to drink and you're going to drive one of my family.
No, he's not really threatening him so much as making it a hypothetical situation. I like to carry it around in case somebody maybe had a couple too much to drink and was going to drive one of my loved ones home. Not to hurt him, not to kill him, just to maim him, just a little off the shoulder and shave a little around the kneecap. Like,
talk about how he keeps it sharp. He could shave the hair off a gnat. He's
he could
you're not
circumcise
a gnat. He's like, you're not a gnat, are you, Bug? Wait a minute.
I guess
Bug?
it is kind of close.
Gnat?
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll be right back. I got one in the trunk.
He is full on holding back tears.
And Buck's loving every minute of it, too, as he's walking to the car. And she's like, he's just fucking with you. But Buck opens the truck and has an axe.
Yeah, a hatchet.
Hatchet. Just starts waving it.
Yeah, look, he's so holding back tears.
He's like, come on, I want to show it to you. So
but Tia,
does she come with him here?
She does, but she makes a big show of this long-ass, nasty goodbye kiss. And she swears revenge on him. And then little Miles in the backseat says, that's a pretty stupid thing to do during flu season.
And Maisie's like, I bet she's getting the tongue. You guys are too young for this.
So, the next day, Buck has to go to Maisie's school to meet with the principal for an appointment.
And that principal is a dick.
Well, first, he has to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So, he goes to the bathroom.
Well, hold on. Let's talk about his parking job at this school.
Alright.
He parked on the sidewalk.
Yes, he did.
Basically in the door.
Yeah. Pretty much. And he's smoking a cigar in the school. He, freaks out in the middle and realizes and tries to put out. But he has to pee, and all the urinals are for little boys.
They're all like a foot and a half off the ground, and they're only like a foot wide.
He has to take a knee and pee on one knee. Could you imagine now, 2020, a grown man peeing in the school bathroom with the little kids? Oh my God.
It'd be anarchy.
It would never go over. So he finally gets in there and meets with the principal that you were saying was a giant bitch.
Oh, she's just a piece of work. She calls first she's got a giant mole on her chin, and he's like, he just can't not say anything about it. I forget all the crap he said, but she's kind of getting tired of it. But she calls Maisie a dreamer, and
she said that she knows a bad egg when she sees one, and Maisie's a bad egg. She's a silly heart, a dreamer, a chatterbox. And he's like, she's only 6 years old. He tells her all kids are good kids until people like you continue to tell them otherwise.
Yeah. Well, before he went in there, he sat on the little chair with another kid. He was like, I'll go in first. I'll loosen her up for you.
Yeah.
But he starts laying into that teacher, and this kid is loving every minute of it.
At the end, he takes a quarter and throws it at her and says, here's a quarter. Go downtown and have a rat chew that thing off your face.
Yeah. And he walks out like a boss, too.
Oh, yeah, he's so excited.
Like, if he walks out, basically, like, that whole room exploded.
Now, he walks into the school and out of the school to the instrumental version of Tone Loc's Wild Thing.
Yes. So, Shanice calls the house. Tia answers the phone.
And now she gets her revenge.
Tells Shanice that Buck isn't there. He's out on a date with the next door laborer, Marcy. And she's just like, oh.
Yeah, he was like, they'll probably be out pretty late. They normally are.
Yeah, like it's a regular thing.
Yeah.
And you could tell it fucked with Shanice a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So the next morning, he's in the kitchen. He still can't get the washing machine to work. So he's been washing the clothes in the sink and then microwaving them dry. But Marcy walks in.
He's not microwaving them dry. He's microwaving them to disinfect them. And then they're spread out like the ceiling fan.
Okay. Either way, Marcy walks in and convinces him to take a break. And she brought records. So they're dancing in the living room. Now,
he reluctantly.
It took a lot of work to get him to do it. He did not want to do it. But it is the exact second that Shanice decides to walk in and check on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that goes pretty much exactly like you would think. But why do they never lock this door? Like, this is the second time now in this $1.5 million house that somebody's just opened the door and walked on in.
Now, when you say $1.5 million house, I think of a very large house. This is a big house, but it's not that big.
A $1.5 million house here
would be very large.
And in Chicago or a suburb of Chicago are different.
I guess. But,
like, my brother's house when he lived in Portland, Oregon, was significantly smaller than our house here now, and it was $500,000, if not a little bit more.
Insane.
And ours is not.
So Shanice catches them. Marcy sees Shanice. I was like, who is this? And Buck's just he slowly stops dancing. He's like, hey, Shanice. He's like, this is, and she's like, Marcy. And he's like, Buck.
Yeah, because she shouldn't know that name.
I think he's just panicked, but I think he eventually figures out,
yeah,
this was all
But Shanice just storms out. She doesn't let him explain. She doesn't let anything happen. She gets back in her car and drives away as he screams, I love you, in her car.
Yeah. So, it is now...
nighttime.
Friday. Yes.
No.
Yes. No. Because he's supposed to pick Tia up. Tia's supposed to watch the kids.
But that night, the night Shanice runs away...
Shanice didn't run away. Tia did.
Shanice left.
Oh, okay.
That night, he goes upstairs to say goodnight to Tia, and she says she wants to go out tomorrow. And he said, you can get used on your parents' time. And they fight, and as he walks away, she's like, hey, Buck. And he turns around and was like, yeah. She's like, do you have a bad day today? So she outs herself as having set that all up.
So she stands Buck up at her 4 o'clock school pickup time.
On Friday.
Which messes him up because he's supposed to go to the track. He's supposed to get all this money. It's going to set him up for the rest of the year. He decides he doesn't know what to do. He's packed the kids up. He's going to take them to the track.
Well, Tia is at home while he's at the school waiting for her. And she packs all her shit and she says, tell Buck he lost and I'll see him on Sunday. And then leaves the kids alone, which is what she told the mom he did.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck? They're way too young to be alone. So he's, like you said, he decides he's going to have to take the kids to the track.
Wait a minute. Here's a flaw in this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
If Tia was supposed to be at the school and he was supposed to pick her up, the kids were going to be by themselves anyway.
Yeah. He puts the kids in the car. He's going to take them to the track, and he's looking at them.
He changes.
And he can't do it. So he goes back inside and calls Shanice and was like, look, whatever's between us is between us. I need your help with these kids. I have to go find Tia. I can't leave these kids alone. Which is when you find out definitely that she's 15 because I have exclamation marks around it.
Yeah.
So he technically leaves the kids alone again while he goes ahead and goes out looking for Tia while Shanice makes her way over. Because Shanice comes to the door and Miles is like giving her the 3rd degree through the mail slot.
Well, he's there. He's got snacks. He's waiting on Shanice to come anyway. She knocks on the door, but she kind of moves to the side and tries to look through the window. He pops over the mail slot, and since she moved to the side, there's nobody there. And he's like, lets the mail slot shut. So she knocks again. She does the same thing. She moves the slot. He opens up the mail slot, and he's confused at this point. And then she moves to the side, and is there a magazine in her purse?
Something, but it's Manny, Mo, and Jack. It's the...
and he's like, ah! But she's like, I'm Shanice. I'm here to watch you. Basically, that she knows Uncle Buck. And he's like, let me see your driver's license.
She holds it up. He's like, can you take it out of that, please? Good.
So then you get to a scene, and it's Tia's boyfriend, and it appears that they are in a bedroom of this huge house party in the winter in Chicago that half the people are wanting to stand outside in their trench coats and their very nice sweaters.
There was no shortage of trench coats in this movie.
This isn't your Dixie Cup, Solo Cup party. This is more upscale than I think I've ever seen for teenagers.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of trash being thrown around. But there's a ton of people in the house. And
a ton. You can barely even move.
They're in the bedroom, and you just kind of hear whispers like, I'm not ready.
I don't want to do this. Stop.
I don't want to do this.
No.
Stop. He's like, no, you do.
And
then at one point, he grabs her by the hand when she says, I don't want to do this, and
holds her
down. You're like, this motherfucker. Like, you start to get angry.
But it alternates between scenes like that and scenes of Buck making his way through the party.
He starts out, he's got his hat, his jacket, his cigar. He ends up with a drink. He's still looking. Eventually, Buck finds a bedroom door.
Mm-hmm. It
is locked. He jiggles it. Boyfriend turns around, gets mad. He's like,
I swear to God, if that door opens,
I'm going to kick somebody's ass.
Yeah.
But Bug is all talk. He's a piece of shit. He's that kid that talks shit to everybody, but once he gets punched in the mouth, or once somebody even remotely looks like they might punch him in the face, he runs away. He's that guy.
But so you just hear like tools,
a drill,
and you see Uncle Buck starts drilling through the doorknob.
Yeah. So you see the drill pop through the keyhole assembly.
Yeah.
And the door opens. It's just Uncle Buck's smoky silhouette with the white lights behind him. And
with a drill, with the biggest drill bit I've ever seen. It's like a foot long.
Yeah. And then you realize that Tia's not there. It's some other girl.
Yeah, the other girl sits up.
So he basically saved this other girl, and he realized he did it because as the scene kind of cuts to an end, Buck smiles and walks into the room.
Yeah.
So then it cuts to Tia walking down the street.
He was 100% going to rape that girl, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was...
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it.
Like, she kept saying no, he kept saying yes, he started holding her down. Yeah, it was real dicey in that bedroom. Anyway, Buck finds Tia walking down the road.
So for a while, he just kind of just lets her walk, and he's there. Finally, he gets to an intersection, he gets out, and he's like, get in the car.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to talk about it, I just want to get you home. But she gets in the car and she says everything. She says, do you know what happened? And he said, yes. And she said, everything you said would happen, happened. Now, did her and Bug have sex? And then he'd get rid of her and move on to the next girl. Because that's basically what he said would happen. He said, you're going to get used.
I think she was strong-minded enough to be like, dude, I fucking told you.
She kept saying no ready, and he got rid of her?
Yeah.
But everything you said would happen, happened, which is... So it's dicey whether they did or they didn't.
I don't feel like
I Googled it to find like a definitive answer, but it was just a bunch of people arguing about if they did or they didn't.
I don't feel like she did because she seemed strong-minded enough to be like, hey, enough is enough. Whatever.
I don't know.
And she finally got him to back off, and he had no trouble finding another victim.
Your replacement, your victim, Jesus. So she says, did you do anything? Like, they kind of start to get along better in this car ride. And finally she says, did you do anything to Bug? And he pulls over, and Bug is like...
in the trunk.
Duct taped up in the trunk.
And Bug is... They let him out, and as they pull away, he's talking mad shit.
They're messing with him. He's like... He pulls the drill back out, and he's like, did you know I'm an amateur dentist on the side? And he starts, like, crying, and she's like, stop, let him out.
Yeah, but then as they pull away, he starts talking shit.
Yeah,
well, they turn around.
Come back, man. I'm going to sue you. You're nothing. You're dead. Your whole life's over.
And start going after him. He kind of stops a little bit, but gets out of the car. He gets his golf glove and a ball, and he fucking beans him in the head.
But he's running away, but still like, I'm going to sue you. I swear to God. Oh, my God. Yeah. And his hand, he's like in his underwear, and his hands are still duct taped together.
I think he has pants on.
He had like long white boxers and a white t-shirt.
No, he had pants.
No, he didn't.
He had his jeans on.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, he did not have jeans on.
Yeah, because he still had his jeans on in the room.
No, he didn't.
He did.
We'll see when it gets there, but no, he didn't. Anyway, he reminds me of like middle of the series Theon Greyjoy. Like when Theon Greyjoy was a real dick. Like when he still had a dick.
Theon Greyjoy is a piece of fucking shit, and he got everything he deserved.
Well, he redeems himself at the end.
Not enough. He got everything he deserved.
He redeems himself at the end. He saves Sansa. He helps protect Winterfell. Yeah, he. But anyway, this guy reminds me. He also helped
destroy Winterfell.
He did, but even in his looks, reminds me of Theon Greyjoy.
Yeah, it's called the piece of shit look.
Okay.
So they get back to the house, and Tia is talking to Shanice, and she's talking Uncle Buck up.
Right.
They
have clearly rehearsed this in the car because he's standing on the other side of the door mouthing everything she's supposed to be saying.
And Shanice knows exactly what's happening. She's like, "Oh, is that so?" And I think at one point she asked if Buck had told her to say it and stuff, and she's like, "Oh, no.
This is just from my own observations."
There's a door, like a swinging door, off to the side of the kitchen, and Shanice walks over there, and Tia's trying to like cough and clear her throat to get Uncle Buck to move. But Shanice is good, because she kind of kicks the door open, waits for a second to let Uncle Buck get back.
The first time.
Yeah, he dodged it the first time, and then kicks it into him.
Yeah, they've clearly been together for a while.
Yeah.
So the family comes back the next day, and everybody but Tia's in the kitchen, like, being quiet and whispering. The little kid's like, "What are we doing?" I was like, "Well, Tia and your mom have some things that they need to sort out, so we're just going to be in here, and we're going to be very quiet and let them talk."
So the mom comes in.
And she looks like it's just Tia standing there. The mom looks terrified. Like, is clearly scared of this conversation she's about to have with her own daughter.
No. She's not scared of a conversation. She's scared that this psychopath is going to murder her right there in the house.
Yeah, like, she's like, "Oh, God, like this, as soon as I walk in the fucking door, this bitch."
So Tia runs over to there, starts crying, and Mom hugs her, and they have their moment. And Uncle Buck knocks all the pots and pans, which are hanging above the island for some reason, down.
Yeah. Shit!
And that's the end of the movie.
Well, Uncle Buck and Shanice are leaving, and he tells Tia next time she's in downtown, stop by and we'll have coffee, and he's going to start the job at the tire place with Shanice the next day, and it all seems all nice and warm and fuzzies. It ends happily.
I was going to say something, I forgot.
So we've talked about how long it used to take a movie after it was in theater to show up for like rent on home video or purchase for VHS or whatever. This movie was filmed, put in theaters, and put out on home video all in 1989.
Really?
Yeah, that's some crazy ass shit.
Who let that happen?
John Hughes, I'm guessing.
Nah, he didn't have any say over the
I don't know.
Distribution rights. It was probably the studio.
Still.
Maybe I could pull off John Candy or Uncle Buck as a Halloween costume.
You'd never be able to wear all those layers.
No. I had a lot of layers last year.
Yes, last year you were Fat Thor.
Yes. Yeah, I think it was a hit.
It was a good job. So my only rip is John Candy.
What year did he die?
He died in 1994 at the age of 43 in Durango, Mexico, while filming Wagons East. So, would you like to take a stab at the
Tomatometer?
Mm-hmm.
Not spoiled on this one.
All right.
I avoided it.
I avoided it is also code for I was too lazy to Google anything about this movie.
No,
I know.
If you Google the movie and then you scroll down far enough, you end up seeing it. I'm gonna guesstimate that.
This is the critics score.
Critics 70?
61.
Ooh. I'm gonna say the audience was 80.
76.
I'm not far off.
You're not far off. Uncle Buck has its ups and downs, but there's undeniable comedic magic that comes up from uniting John Hughes, John Candy, and a house full of precocious kids. So it had a budget of $15 million. Its opening weekend, it was number one, and it made $8.8 million. But over the course of its life, it has made $80 million.
Seems like good payoff.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. Alright, so now it's time for
Ratchet Reviews.
Okay, 1.5 stars. Time with the family means that someone else picks the movies. Not all of them are winners. I actually had a good amount of nostalgia for this since I liked it a good deal when I was younger, but it's far too mean-spirited to be enjoyed as a family comedy. This movie's rated PG, in case you were curious.
They didn't rate the movie so much as shit on their family's movie decision.
Well, no, they said it's too mean-spirited to be a family movie. But it's a PG movie.
Yeah, but they're more butthurt about the movie selection than anything.
Okay, so this person's entire review just aggravated me. It's 1.5 stars, but they have 5 facets by which they judge a movie, I guess, and they have them laid out. So number 1 is story. It must tell a good story, show the beauty of the human soul or the beauty of the human experience within its storyline or character development. And Uncle Buck gets 0 out of 2 for that.
No, wait a minute, I'm going to stop you there. Not all movies about the human soul or spirit.
Hold on. The second facet is acting. The acting has to be believable, realistic to the role, be different to other roles played, and be of high standard. 1 out of 2. Aesthetic. The cinematography, sets, costumes, animation, special effects, or musical score have to be something really beautiful, different, or special. 0 out of 2. Impact.
Wait, let me stop you there. Let's talk about this.
Okay.
Where the fuck do they want this set to be? This is a suburban area and a house. They go to school. They go, did they want to do it up on Mars? What the fuck did they want?
Impact. It must touch me on a deep level, be thought-provoking, stay with me afterwards, make me want to watch it again or recommend to others. 0 out of 2.
Her soul wasn't touched deep by Bug's coercion there?
Emotion. Oh, we're going to get to Bug's we'll get to emotion. It must provoke strong emotion, such as upset, laughter, happiness, fear, anger, etc. 2 out of 2. That's 3 out of 10 for those keeping score at home.
Are you sure that's not 4 out of 10 on her math?
Yes, because she gave 0 out of 2, 1 out of 2, 0 out of 2, 0 out of 2, 2 out of 2.
Okay.
This lady seems like a lot of fun at parties.
That wannabe film critic was probably the bane of her whole entire high school's theater department.
She seems like a lot of fun. I don't know. How does it get 0 out of 2 for telling a good story? It's a good story. It's hard to tell. Well, Tia'd be preying on 19 kids in a high school dropout.
Old boy's still got his pants on.
Alright, got his pants on in bed. We'll see how it goes. 1.5 stars. I remember loving this as a kid. Watching it now, it's pretty damn bad. Awkward rape themes in a family comedy that shouldn't have been included. Most of the movie is pretty miserable.
I would think they are wrong. This is all about preventing teen rape. Still got pants on. We got some other chick.
I would tend to agree. If the kid's old enough to know what's going on, they realize it's bad and he had repercussions for it. If the kid's not old enough to understand what's going on, then it goes over their head, right?
Yeah. See? Still got his pants on.
1.5 stars. We have a Bug apologist here.
Oh.
Uncle Buck kidnaps Bug. Logically, he should be serving life in prison.
Life? For kidnapping an attempted rapist?
I feel like he saved that girl from being raped and, probably saved his niece as well.
Technically, too, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if he wasn't involved during this time frame, I feel like she caves.
Yeah, yeah. Also, it's kind of like when a drug dealer gets robbed. They can't go tell the police, hey, I was robbed, because they were committing a crime themselves. What is Bug going to do? How's he going to tell the cops that Uncle Buck kidnapped him while he was in the middle of trying to rape a girl at an underage house party?
Oh, I fully believe Bug went to the cops and squealed like a little pig.
You think?
Oh, yeah. Bug's a piece of shit.
Bug's a piece of shit.
Bugs seems like one of those people that doesn't learn their lesson ever in life. They gotta do things the hard way the whole fucking time.
Did you find this film to be political in any way?
Only the bag he uses to pack his shit in said vote Democratic or whatever.
But the rest of it, you weren't just in your face with the...
No. So this person got butthurt in the first 10 minutes?
2.5 stars from Ben Daniels.
Oh, wow. What a name.
Uncle Buck is the clearest representation of how American Republicans view the world, and it's just as partisan and tribal as the political U.S. divide is today. Traditional family unit threatens the young'uns who know nothing. Respect for your elders who know best. Get married and live in the suburbs. A clear disdain for city Democrats. Literally, his old apartment has a vote Democrat bag. But when he gets to the suburbs, the TV actually tells Karl Marx to suck it. For a film that shouldn't be so political, it is. Nevertheless, John Candy is as funny and relatable as ever, and he pushes the formulaic boomer Republican comedy into something watchable. Sorry, I know this is a treasured film, but maybe not being American has something to do with it. So,
how is it that person isn't American, but they're so entrenched in the whole my team, your team bullshit?
I don't know. I also, I have an advanced degree. It's not in, political science or anything, but I feel I'm politically savvy. I don't follow this.
He saw the bag said the word Democratic on it.
Yes, Cindy's a cunt who thinks Uncle Buck isn't good enough to be in her house. I don't think that has anything to do with politics.
No.
That has to do with the fact that he doesn't have a job and lives like he's a child still. I've never been I like that Uncle Buck, but all that politics in it, man, it just chaps my ass. With this fucking poli-sci major here, who's not American. It's real weird. Yeah. It's like being mansplained too. This somebody who doesn't live in America just tried to use Uncle Buck to explain our political issues to us.
Wherever he or she is from has their own political issues. So
Ben
fuck off.
Daniels. Okay. 1 star. Can't trust anyone these days is the headline. I never saw this movie before, but thinking it was safe to watch with the family because of the PG rating, and that it was made by the same person who did the family-friendly hit Home Alone, I went ahead and sat the kids down to enjoy the film, only to be assaulted by the S word multiple times within the first couple of minutes of the movie. Not to mention that the young teenager spouting this verbal diarrhea was doing so in front of 2 much younger kids. Not exactly the shining example I want my kids to learn from. This pisses me off. Why is this sort of thing necessary in what's marketed as a family film? Does it advance the story? Does it provide a plot twist, a red herring? Does it induce a feeling of Hitchcockian suspense? No. In truth, there's no need for any of it, just as there's no need for me to watch the rest of the movie to know that it's garbage.
First off, what's this person's name?
Rick.
First off, Rick, one, you can go suck a dick because Home Alone is not a family movie. Home Alone is about a bunch of degenerate parents who leave their fucking kid at home while they leave the goddamn country, you piece of shit. They left this fucker home for a week and didn't even go back to get him. They stayed their whole entire vacation. They didn't even know he wasn't fucking there. How is that a family fucking movie, you piece of shit?
Also, Kevin McAllister's totally a psychopath, right? Like the shit.
Yes! So if you roll all that back, that family left their fucking kid at their house while they left the country for a week, didn't know he was gone, didn't cancel their fucking plans, didn't say, oh, at least one of us has to go back and get fucking Kevin.
I think they tried to go get Kevin.
No.
I haven't seen it in a really long time, though.
They're pieces of shit. It's a good movie, but you can't say that this isn't a family movie, but Home Alone is.
Have you ever been assaulted by the S word?
Just the phrase actual S-word. That assaults me.
Oh, no, S is in quotes. S-word.
Oh, air quotes S-word.
Mm-hmm.
That's even worse.
I like how he's upset that Tia said shit, just like Maisie. He's upset that Tia said shit, but fine that Miles said goddamn.
Also...
And then they turned it off.
I don't believe they turned it off.
You don't think?
No. I believe he whacked it to that girl getting fucking halfway...
Jesus Christ, Jason!
That girl getting halfway raped, because that's the kind of people Rick is. He's like, oh, you better watch your language, but let's let Bug assault this 14-year-old piece of shit.
Holy shit.
Rick, you're a dick, and I do not hope anything good happens to you.
Well, I have 2 more reviews, but they're on the same terms that it's too vulgar and there shouldn't be swearing. So I'm just going to go out on that one. Because you seem to have handled it all there. What? You're all worked up into a tizzy here.
You don't like me to stop you and pick it apart piece by piece. I had to write notes.
I saw you started writing notes.
Because as soon as they said it's not a family-friendly movie like Home Alone, what the fuck?
What's your review?
My review is that Rick's a piece of shit.
Of the movie, not of Rick.
Rick is a piece of shit,
Jesus.
garbage person.
Maybe he just doesn't like cussing. I don't know.
But leaving a family member at home?
I don't know.
How old's Kevin McAllister?
Don't they cuss in Home Alone too?
Yeah.
As well? Like not
so.
Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Probably. And these delinquent pieces of shit did it again.
Yeah.
Home Alone 2, Home Alone 3.
So what's your review of this fucking movie, Jesus Christ?
I liked it.
I liked it!
Yeah, it's... People want these...
I think kids are just soft.
Kids are soft. Like, this is... Like, everybody knows fucking a kid just like Miles. Yeah. Miles gonna say some shit just to say it, or he thinks it's cool.
They may have edited the language out, but like I said, this aired on USA Network every day for like 7 years.
Yeah, they definitely edited. I mean, the kids said a couple bad words, but in the end, they're just bad words to certain people.
There you go. I don't know the words are bad.
Words, sentence enhancers, as I like to call them.
I know.
Miles
just picked up a few sentence enhancers.
The chances
from his parents, probably.
Yeah. Well, the one was from the neighbor. The neighbor's dog.
Okay.
Because he called him a ball licker. Sentence enhancers...
He calls him a ball sniffer.
...will guarantee you get somebody's attention.
That is true.
Because sometimes I would like to use a sentence enhancer when I'm trying to get somebody to see the point that I'm trying to make. And they're just not getting it. Well, if you do this, this is going to happen. Well, if you do this, this is going to happen. Well, what about this? Like, no, if you do A, B happens. Well, I don't want B to happen. Okay, well, don't do A. But I want to do A. And it's like, if you fucking do it, then the shit you don't want to happen is going to happen. That's going to get their attention.
Yeah.
And then that's going to be the end of it.
Yeah. Anyway, what do you want to give this movie?
I would give it 4 stars out of 5.
Do you need me to bring up this, like, grading rubric here so you can...
Fuck no.
Decide?
I don't need that sweaty-ass try-hard. Like, get the fuck over yourself. Like, if you had a real critic's job, you wouldn't be fucking reviewing movies on the Google Play Store. Or Amazon. Or Amazon Prime. Like, you'd be writing your blogspot.com article about it.
Blogspot. Wow.
Your GeoCities website.
She's not even allowed a WordPress site?
No.
Can I say I had to Google something old today, like for our social media, and I Googled it, and the information came from an Angel Fire site.
Ooh, that's before GeoCities.
Yeah.
Woo!
But yeah, I wasn't surprised that this information from the 90s I was looking for came from an angelfire.com site, so much as that there are still angelfire.com sites.
Do you think angelfire.com started as like some kind of weird fucking porn site? And
it sounds really weird, right?
Then they kind of like, well, let's just host other people's shit.
Yeah.
Or GeoCities. What? I don't know. How do they get their names?
Angel Fire. I don't know.
Probably a couple taps on the keyboard probably tell us, but I'm too lazy.
I was amazed. Like, who's still hosting Angel Fire sites?
Angelfire.com.
Angel Fire was founded in 1996 and was originally a combination website, building, and medical transcription service.
Wait a minute.
Dropped the transcription service and focused solely on website hosting, offering only paid memberships.
You had to pay for an Angel Fire site?
I never did. Until 2004, Angel Fire offered paid email. Like, if you give me your email at angelfire.com, I don't need to email you anything. Like, I've had professionals
That's below Hotmail.
I've had professionals give me Hotmail accounts before, and I was like, we're not in business together. I don't know what you're doing.
Like, you didn't even, Hotmail went to Outlook, right? Like, Outlook, Microsoft bought it all. Like, you gotta upgrade your shit to Outlook.
Yeah. Could you imagine, though, like, a professional contact giving you John Smith at angelfire.com?
No, that's going right in the trash.
Yeah. Like, you're not somebody I need to be in business with, buddy.
I'm not talking to this psychopath. Like, because who's like, oh, I really need to update some things. You still have an Angel Fire account?
Yeah.
Or how much? I think I'm kind of snobby. I think I judge Yahoo accounts too.
A little bit.
Not as harsh as an Angel Fire. Like,
yeah, that's wild.
Wow. How do we get to email from Uncle Buck? Uncle Buck don't even look like he checks his regular mail.
He doesn't. If he does, it's definitely just in that car. The car looks like it could survive the apocalypse.
Mm-hmm. It looked like they had to put dirt on it to get it that dirty.
Well, at the end, Shanice says he's getting a new company car on Monday, and he's like, oh, no, it's not. No, I'm not. This car will last another 100,000 miles. So that car might not last out the driveway.
It seemed to get him where it needed to be.
Shanice was apologizing for the car being in that driveway in that nice-ass neighborhood all week. Like, tell your neighbors I'm sorry. Car.
Shanice says you, though. You apologize for all kinds of shit.
I apologize for everything all the time. What? Somebody we're friends with on Facebook had a post today about how in the world do you stop apologizing for everything. And I was like, I don't know. You find out. You holler at me. Oh, I didn't give my rating.
Yeah, you're just trying to skip. I know we've been gone for a while, but
I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Really, that's more than I thought you would.
Well, that's toned down from a 5, but yeah, it's a good movie.
That's exactly what 4.5 is.
Yeah,
just not quite a 5.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Like, I was originally gonna say 5, jackass, and then I was like, 4.5.
Too risque for you.
Yeah.
Were the noses a little too close to the Elmer's glue during craft time?
Fucking what?
On the still shot they got here, they got the Crayolas out.
Oh, I'd have gave it a 5 if Miles just sat and said, "God damn it."
Yeah, nobody we knows believes that statement. Nobody we know believes that.
We don't know a lot of people that listen too, so. Alright, you said 4, I said 4.5.
Yep.
You gonna do Blade Runner next week? Allegedly.
Pencil that in for Blade Runner.
Alright,
that's been Run It Back for Uncle Buck. I'm Jason.
I'm Sarah, and we have a website now, so you can follow all of our social media at runitbackpodcast.com. You can find all of our social media there, all of our past podcasts. You can find links to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite app. Everything's there. runitbackpodcast.com. What was that? What did that used to be from?
It was like the Expedia.
Yeah. Every time it's all I think. runitbackpodcast.com. Yo.